Hey, this Armand just on here real quick recapping the Cowboys versus Jags game, and it was a crazy ass game, a lot of ups and downs, and a definitely big down by the Cowboys because they was up. Like, I mean, the shit was you know you, you know they was up by 17 points, 27-10, in full command of the game. And then some crazy shit happened, man. I mean, they been kind of playing with fire the past 2 weeks. Like last week, they played bad enough to where Houston could have got them. They played a different team. The team that they played was real hot. Uh, Trevor Lawrence, he been on a tear and only threw one pick. But like he been killing it. Like he really grasps concept of the offense that Doug Peterson been trying to, get in his head and get him to relax. And you could see even yesterday, some passes was like, some guys was wide open and the bitches sailed on him. So he still needs some grooming, but you could see that he the goods. You know what I'm saying? He one of them guys I was telling people about in August, like on his backhand of the season. Like, potentially he got potential to be like a top 10 quarterback as far as fantasy numbers. You know what I'm saying? I was saying this, for what we seeing right now. Like, yeah, I knew once Doug Peterson, like I say, how he was able to groom Carson Wentz. I knew he was going to do the same thing with Trevor Lawrence because, in my eyes, Trevor Lawrence is way better than Wentz. And so, it was just a matter of them, kind of like, believing in each other. And then once you start seeing yourself make certain plays week in, week out, and like I said, I'm a Charger fan, and he blasted us early in the season, so it was there, but it's been sporadic. Like some weeks, he looked real sharp, and then some weeks it's like he still look like he's developing or whatever. But yesterday he definitely he put a lot together, and he had help by this guy on the screen right here, had a hell of a defensive game. Hopefully they give him his love and he win, defensive player of the week because 18 tackles, 2 interceptions, a game clinching interception return for a touchdown. Like, he played out of his mind. You know, he's a reject of the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? We had him on the roster, and then we let him go, and he been blossoming in the Jacksonville scheme. So you looked at the team, third down conversions, they was 8 of 12. That's 75%. It's gonna be hard for you to not only get a win on a team like that, but it's gonna be hard for you to lose a game if you 8 of 12 on third down conversion. Cowboys was also a good percentage, 9 of 16. That's a solid percentage as well. But I mean, 8 of 12, they was like pretty much anytime it was third down, you know, they was getting it, especially in the second half when they got shit clicking. Um, you look at other stats, you know, let me see, total yards, it was 503 to 397. And I mean, on Undisputed, they was talking about it a little bit, like, they, everybody knowing Dallas for having this defense and shit like that, but you giving up 500 yards, and I get it, they could have been like looking forward to facing the Eagles or whatever, which, I think they got a good shot at getting the Eagles. and especially since they saying Hurst is gonna be banged up. So especially he got an injury on his throwing shoulder, and so that's not no injury to sleep on. Like, that's a significant injury. So I give Cowboys an edge on that. I think Cowboys gonna blast them, especially like feeling that they let this game slip away. Possession, time possession. It was 35 minutes for the Cowboys, 27 for the Jags. So it was I don't know, man. Like I said, you gotta play 4 quarters, and Lee's ain't Lee's no more. The Vikings started the shit on Saturday, and it was a couple of games yesterday that was the same thing. Like, you literally gotta play. If you lack up and you thinking the team just gonna quit, and they just happy to be on the field with you, like, that shit ain't happening no more. Like, teams is gonna play all the way through the whistle, and if they see you give them a little bit of a lifeline, they gonna take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? And Dak Prescott, he had them turnovers. The one, he would have just had one pick, but then he had the one on the back end. And but overall, like I said, he hopped up on them, and it was 27 points. That's almost 30. Usually when they up on somebody like that, it's a foregone conclusion that they get the dub. But only difference is they let up on the gas, and when they let up, that's when the Jags really like gain some steam or whatever. So like you see, they had 154 yards as a team running the ball. That's solid. And Prescott had 256, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's also good. CD Lamb had 7 for 126, but for some reason, he don't have as many touchdowns as you would think. You know, Dak get on some where he like to wanna show everybody that he can, like, feed everybody and shit. And sometimes, that's not necessary. Like, let the man eat, you know what I'm saying? CD been killing it. Just let him, what I'm saying, have one of them games where he have 150 yards, 160 yards, 170. He got it in him, but you just gotta, force feed it to him and shit. But it seemed like sometimes in the clutch he'll go to CD sometimes, but he'll look other people's way, even though CD most likely got the mismatch. So that's something they can still work on. They got a couple of weeks into the end of the season. But Noah Brown, he had 2 touchdowns. He had 9 targets, caught 6 for 49. And on defense, only had one sack and 4 QB hits, and that's nothing that they was priding themselves on. They was priding themselves on a QB pressure. If they not getting the sacks, they definitely getting the QB hits. And as of late, recently, past few weeks, they really haven't done that. And then the fact that they lost, the white dude, the Wolf Hunter dude. You know what I'm saying? They lost him, during the game, and that kind of messed them up. As far as like, having the person in the middle calling the plays for the defense, they kind of was thrown off. But Trevor Lawrence, he threw for 318, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 109 passer rating, running the ball. They ran the ball for 192. ATN had 103. Agnew had 52 on 3 attempts. So they was balanced. So they was more balanced than you, like almost 200 yards running the ball and 300 passing. Yeah, that's a problem. Zay Jones still staying hot. He caught it for 6, 109 and 3 touchdowns. He's turning out to be um Lawrence's go-to over Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk kind of been falling by the wayside. He had a good game yesterday. He had 6 for 92. And Evan Ingram made an appearance. He had 8 of 62 on 10 targets. And it was crazy because, you know, when you saw Trevor Lawrence made that fumble in the fourth quarter, you thought, like, yeah, the game over. Like, that's when you kind of started half watching the game. Like, yeah, this shit about to be over with. Then, you know, they was able to force a stop and was able to march the field and score with that, short amount of time. You know, that was a good confidence booster for them. So it's like at that point they definitely swung the momentum. But the crazy thing about it is, like, when you looked at the play, and I know, like, yeah, we all on here just talking the shit, criticizing from the couch, you know, Monday quarterback or whatever. But it's like, when you looking at the play that he threw in order for Rashawn to get the pick, it was like, his feet wasn't set. Why did he even make that pass? You get what I'm saying? Like, even if that was one of the times where he was supposed to throw it in the dirt. Like, that pass was not even supposed to, like, it just was a bad fucking pass. It was just like, that was one of the play times this season where he definitely had a brain fart, and by him just doing that, it costed them the game and shit like that. But sacks wise, Jacksonville had 3 sacks and 8 QB hits, so it's like Jacksonville's defense was more aggressive, and maybe it was because they was coming from behind or what, but Dallas, they fucked that one up. But the good thing about it is they in the 5th spot, and they gonna face whoever come out the NFC South, whoever is Carolina and Tampa Bay. And as of today, you know what I'm saying, today, Dallas should get them. Just on paper, they gonna be better than Tampa or Carolina or New Orleans, whoever the hell come out that division. They gonna be better on paper. Their records gonna say that they better, you know what I'm saying, just personnel wise. But it's all about whether they actually put that on the tape, you know what I'm saying. But you would think if the playoffs start in like 3 weeks, that Dallas should get whoever the hell it is that's in that 4th spot. But if they come out there playing like they've been playing these past 2 weeks, they might do a one and done. But I'm gonna have a little more faith in them. I think that, the game on Saturday is gonna tell a lot, especially if Hurst don't play. It's gonna be like a get back. When Dallas played them the first time, Dak wasn't out there and Philly housed them. So Dallas need to return the favor. If Hurst don't play and they got the backup in there, they need to go in and house Philly. It's gonna be in Dallas. Everybody gonna be all revved up, and it's them two been the ones that's been the class of the division, as well as as well as the NFC. So as they gonna have it, it's gonna be a 3 o'clock game, and so it's what's the word I want to use? It's gonna be all eyes is gonna be glued on them. So there's gonna be they could put a nice old demo out in front of everybody, and get people to just calm down, take a breath, and say, like this game right here was a fluke, and they was just locked in on the Eagles. So yeah, we'll see on that. All right, that's my thoughts. Thanks for listening.